What's up, everyone? It's Charles here with Rocket Punch Army to do a review of the Omnigonix OG-01 Warrior Spinout. Got two boxes here. We got the Bad Cube Warrior Sun Surge, which is in this video because I really can't honestly do this video without bringing this guy in here. So, but let's set this off to the side for a second. Let's concentrate on this. This is finally Omnigonix release, which I think was announced back in 2014, like summer 2014. It only just got released, and you know, a lot of people were anticipating the release of this, including me. I bounced back and forth between the Bad Cube and this, but ultimately the design of this one won me over. More the proportions. I know the chest is a little huge, but I really like the way the rest of the figure looked, especially from the back compared to the Bad Cube. So we're going to check those out in a moment. But when I ended up getting the Sun Surge, you know, I kind of leaned towards that. But finally, when we got the colored pictures, I'm like, you know what, maybe the Spinout is a little bit better looking. But looks are one thing. What we want to do in this video is talk about quality, because if you guys haven't already seen the 10,000 videos that were up before mine, long story short, this guy was clearanced immediately after his release. A lot of retailers knocked off about 30 bucks off the you know, 90 something dollar tag, which is a lot. You know, a lot of what do you call it, retailers felt that this was not up to par for something that should cost close to $100, so they knocked off the price immediately. But you know, anyway, here it is. We're going to do a little comparison here, as this is one of the only third-party releases, at least that I have, that come very close to doing a very you know, faithful masterpiece box, including the dimensions. Look at this. I mean, you can, you know, stack this up on the bookcase with the rest of your masterpieces, and it will look like it fits right in. It did a pretty good job on the back. It's not any Japanese writing. It's just big fonts here in English, you know, as opposed to having small Japanese fonts. The photography, not too bad. They're trying to do that little kind of, you know, TV scrambled screen kind of design in the bottom there, just whatever, you know, just like the Masterpiece, like here. I don't even know what to call their background, but they're trying to do that on this one. You got the little trademark down here, made in China. One thing I did notice is that obvious difference in color here, like the picture they cut out here, like in Photoshop, you'll see the line, where is it? Right here. A little bit of cut off. It looks like they photographed this and just photoshopped that. Looks very amateurish. You know, it almost looks like this is inkjet printed. It's got that like kind of faded look. It's not there's not a lot of contrast on the graphics here. You know, you do get the Transformer logo up here, the Omnigonix. You know, I think they did, you know, as much as they could with, I don't know what budget they were working on, but I think ultimately at the end it may be a little bit of a disappointment due to all the hype and the amount of time we've been waiting, and it's finally here, and there's just a lot of people talking crap about it. So maybe I will be one of those crap talkers. We shall see. I always like to give figures a chance, and this is one of those that I feel deserves to be reviewed. I had my finger on the cancel button, but I said, you know what? I'm sure a lot of my viewers would love to see a comparison, so I'm doing it for you guys. I took one for the team, especially since I paid full price for this. So that's going to obviously factor into my decision on this, since I didn't even pay the discounted price. But here we're looking at the instruction booklet. It's got a nice little card. Let me see if I can get in here just to show you guys what we're looking at. First thing I want to check out is the card here, which is done very similar, if not exactly the same as a Masterpiece. It's got the cardboard with the gloss over it. This might actually even be glossier than a legit Masterpiece. I think they did their best again with the photography. They're trying to get that whole look, which I really do appreciate. I mean, if you're going to make a Masterpiece line, you know, you can't do it under the Tomy name. It's not like this is a knockoff, but it's obviously, you know, inspired by, you know, Sunstreaker. I think they did a good job just trying to keep it, you know, in line until maybe at some point, maybe Takara will decide, hey, we're going to make a Sunstreaker. But anyway, that's the card. This is the instruction booklet. Again, trying to make it somewhat similar, but I think they pretty much failed as far as this. From what I understand, the instructions are very confusing. And I'm looking at these, and I don't know. I guess it would be tough to make instructions if you know, if you're not really a big player in the toy field. You know, I don't know. I mean, there's rumors that these guys are affiliated somehow or whatever. KFC may. I don't know the whole thing, so don't go by what I say. But you know, it almost looks like these guys. You know, this is really their first time doing any of this. So I don't know how much of that is true, but yeah, this isn't even folded nicely. It's just like, hey, let's just throw it in a bag and fold it and put tape on it. That's like impossible to take off. All right, and here finally is the tray with the figure. I think I have talked for about 10 minutes already, and I haven't even shown you the damn thing. So initially, what I wanted to do is, for the first time ever holding it in my hand, was to actually do it on camera. This will not be the first time I'm holding it in hand. This will be the second time, but I literally did not do anything. I didn't even move anything or adjust anything. The only thing I did was spin the wheel here. So you can see it's very floppy. And it just popped off. And it was near impossible to get back on. When I was pushing it in, there's like two tabs. I as well show you. It's a freaking review. There's these two little tabs here. And from pushing it in, one of the tabs, I guess, was too thick for the hole. And it started to form a little lip on it, which made it impossible to get in there. And from pushing it in, kind of warped it a little bit, the plastic. It is such a crappy design, honestly. It's just a little, like, what do you call it? Little self-tapping screw going into this. I don't know what the deal with that is as far as pegging it in there. Maybe it's because of the design of the leg. The leg's right back. But I mean, I think they could have done something a little bit differently. It's just a little weird, and I agree with everybody else who has talked about this, is that peg design is just a little strange. And as you can see, I'm having difficulty getting it in here. I may have to edit this out in just a moment if I can't get it in. Alright, looks like it's pegged in there, but it's definitely not a secure thing. You know, it's got plastic wheels. Not really liking the way these wobble around, but let's just forget about that for a second. Let's just look at the way it is designed. I do have to admit, this is a great looking design. It is pretty faithful to a Countach. I know this is based off something that doesn't exist, like a tuner car Lamborghini that's all turboed up, you know, where the whole rear is redone. But it does remain pretty faithful to a Countach. As a matter of fact, it's sort of like a real design, like the way Takara. As a matter of fact, let's grab a Tiger Track over here. Almost dropped them. Which is a licensed figure. So all the proportions have to be correct for it to be a licensed figure. So you'll see the proportions are the way they're supposed to be. You got the taillights, you know, everything's proportioned the way, again, the way it's supposed to be. This almost takes on like a more cartoony, like where the front end kind of gets like a little bloated, but it does remain pretty faithful, and it does look pretty good compared to Tiger Tracks here. But there's something about the front end. I think it's the way the fender. I think this is a different type of Lamborghini. Is this the LP 500S or something? I don't really recall. But it's got the little vents here. So I think there's a special edition Lamborghini that had, or the 25th anniversary, I'm not sure, had these little spoiler effects. So I think that kind of makes the front end a little wider. But it makes it look a little cartoony at the same time, which I do enjoy. So just looking at it, yeah, this thing looks good. I'm not going to lie. It does look good. You know, it's got a little bit paneling issue here, like I can't really get these panels to stay tight. That might just be a little bit of a fitment thing, but if you're not noticing already, there are different shades of yellow. This is like a really pale yellow, and this is like a more of a school bus yellow. As a matter of fact, it's more of an yellow than the Tiger Track. This Tiger Track, I don't like the yellow on this one, actually. I do like the yellow on this guy. But unfortunately, the yellow on the bottom, that's actually more towards the Tiger Track color. There was something that you know, people were saying about the plastic. It reminded them a lot of like maybe Ollie, the X-Transbot's wheelie. Maybe they're talking about this kind of plastic. Like, look at this. It's very flexible, very cheap kind of plastic. But it may be flexible just so it's a little more durable. But it doesn't necessarily, you know, scream high end to me. But it looks like they did a good job with the paint. Don't mind the paint at all. It's very nicely done. The figure, aside from this wheel being floppy, does feel solid so far in vehicle mode. And I should probably compare it to a Sunsurge now in vehicle mode. I just got to get him into vehicle mode. So give me a moment. I'll do that. So here's Sunsurge. I got to get him into vehicle mode. I have no clue how to transform him since I've only transformed him once for the review. But you'll notice already, right away, the presentation for Sunsurge was just a lot better, even though they had, you know, from what I saw, a lot less time to get this figure out to the market, design and everything. I did see the forums had Omnigonix listed around June 2014, and this guy like July 2015. So, you know, Omnigonix had a big, what do you call it, advantage to get something out that's better. And somehow Badcube beat them to the punch. Presentation and everything is just amazing. I mean, look at this book. It's beautiful. The box is even beautiful. I don't even know where I have it right now. But you guys have seen the box. It's nice. So it's a shame they couldn't do a little bit better. But anyway, I got to get this guy into vehicle mode and do the comparison. Voila! So remind me never ever to do that again. Only took me about 38 minutes, 45 hours. I don't know. Anyway, here he is, Sunsurge in vehicle mode. So we're going to go ahead and compare him to Spinout. So you can see proportions are slightly different. This seems a little bit smaller. It's a little bit shorter. Wide. I don't know, maybe they're both as wide. Maybe, no, actually, Spinout is a little thinner. So, we obviously have the Badcube, which we all know is of high quality because it's been out long enough for a bunch of good reviews to go up. And not everybody is a fan of Sunsurge. You know, some people say, oh, I don't like the way he looks and blah, blah, blah. And does have rubber tires, which is nice. So it rolls very nice. And Spinout, it's just a brick. And a brick that loses, oh, here we go. I was going to just tab it right back in, but that's not going to be possible because the screw came out of the wheel. I'm not the only one that's having this issue. A bunch of people have. Hopefully it's not stripped out. Otherwise, you probably just have to use a bigger screw. Let's see if this thing will just hold on just so I can show you guys this. So obviously rolling is not going to happen. All right. So it's really just eye candy so far. But yeah, that's it. So that's that right there. We have an actual masterpiece here to do a comparison with, and the reason I'm comparing with this one is because it's a yellow Lambo also. But you can see all three of them here. Now, what's weird to me, this looks a little more cartoony as far as like the proportions I was speaking to you about, but the back is made to look just like a Lamborghini, and they actually did a good job doing the taillight lenses, because you see the Takara one doesn't even use lenses. It's just sliced in half and it's just, you know, regular paint. This, they actually did lenses. That's one of the really cool things about this, and it actually has this whole lower part here that looks like a real Lamborghini. Even Takara couldn't do that. The bottom does not look like a real Lamborghini. They did their best, but here, this little underpiece is what a real Lamborghini has, you know, as far as I know from what I've seen. But yeah, so cartoony looks from the front, and then just trying to keep it real on the back here. And this is the opposite. This is just looking as close as possible to a real Countach, and then having the cartoony, ugly back end here, which I do not like. I know it's supposed to be accurate. I really don't care. I just would like it to look nice. But I guess it is good that it's anime accurate for those of you that like that. So I'm really not going to put down those taillights too much, because really, if you know, these guys are going for accuracy, they nailed it. But then the vehicle mode is very Lamborghini-ish, like real life Lamborghini-ish. So it's a little mixture, a little bit of everything here. Another thing, let's see. Oh, it's got the little design here on the window, which the Sunsurge and the Takara don't have on their Lamborghinis, which looks like the G1 toy, except the G1 toy I think was straight down and across. I don't quite remember. I don't have it here with me. They have hard plastic mirrors as opposed to rubbery on the Sunsurge and the Takara. So I don't know if they're glued yet. Well, actually, they might be just molded as part of the door, so maybe they won't fall out. The little vents back here are actually separate pieces. It looks like they don't look like they're painted on, which is not the same thing I could say for the Takara, which is painted on. So again, a lot of the detailing is done very well. What do you call it? These vents here, what do they call it? Intakes, are a little weird look. I mean, they're cool, but I do prefer the look of these, which are nice and smooth. They really do look like real intakes. These a little more futuristic. No chrome on this. I know the Sunstreaker does give you the chrome option. I chose to keep it silver. With this falling off and things, I can't really suggest this as a toy for someone to play with. Yeah, it's kind of a shame because I do dig it. The wheels are not as detailed as the Takara and Sunstreaker. You can see these have the wheel holes going all the way through. These are just molded on there. You know, very, you know, minimalistically. I can't even say that. Yeah, so I think the only thing now really to do is get into robot mode. I do want to get it in the trailer. I don't know if anybody's done that. I mean, it's pretty much the same size as all these other guys, but I'm sure you guys want to see it go in the trailer. Before we do that, let's look at the bottoms. So the Omnigonix is very well laid out, very clean. The Sunstreaker, I guess due to the complexity, I gotta hand it to you guys, Bad Cube, if you're watching this. You guys really, you know, make it challenging to transform these, but not in a bad way. But I do have to concentrate a lot more than I would with the regular Transformer. This and War Dog, holy moly. Supposedly this has a little bit of an easier transformation. But again, let's go ahead and check it out in the trailer first. Hopefully I'll get that wheel fixed in just a moment. Just see what it looks like. All right, now we're going to get Omnigonix here to go into Optimus Prime from the rear. Again, always hiding my little bills there from the wife so she doesn't see how much I spend. But anyway, here we are. We're going to drag him in. Oh, look at that. The wheel fell off. In real life, this would never happen. Well, maybe with a real Lamborghini, maybe. Anyway, yeah, so that's it in there. You know, as you can see, it fits really nice. Looks really cool. Let you guys check it out from the front like that. So it looks pretty badass. I mean, this you can't fault the way it looks, but you can fault everything else so far. You know, paint being one of the exceptions. It does look nice to paint. But let's see if we can get this guy into robot mode. And right now, as of right now, I haven't really decided if I'm going to do the sequence. I don't know if I should do the sequence because I really want to point out things as I go along. So I want to get this fixed, but apparently what you have to do is just push the screw, and if it's backed out and this screws on, try and screw it just by hand, which is weird because if you think about it, it's not even pinned in. It's screwed into the wheel. So I don't even think it's, what do you call it, stripped. I think it's just by spinning the wheel, just the action of spinning the wheel unscrews it off the screw. I mean, honestly, Omnigonix, what were you thinking when you put a screw into a wheel? Eventually it's going to back itself out with only a couple of turns because these are very limited amount of threads on there. So a couple of spins, well, you know, because it's not even stripped. Look, it's actually holding now. So it's just the act of spinning. Of course, the rotation direction is, you know, perfectly in line for this to be screwed out. So get that back on. And then, of course, because I screwed it in, now the wheel doesn't spin. But if I spin it forward, there it gets loose, and eventually it's probably just going to end up popping off. But let's not help it along. So yeah, transformation instructions. I'm kind of afraid to get it into robot mode, and I'm kind of excited because I want to see it in robot mode. But this is going to be really where the figure is going to either fail or shine. And from what I've seen, it's pretty much just failing. But hopefully mine is good enough just for display, maybe handling here and there, comparisons in the future with other robots. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. You know what, guys, I lied. I am going to do the little sequence here, but if there's any major problems, I'll stop during the sequence. But let's go ahead and do that, since that's really what I do here in these videos, is make those little sequences for you guys. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, this spot I have to stop. There's little hooks. So freaking hard to show you guys with this stupid lighting. But there's like hooks right here. I'll just show you. Whatever. Right here. This little thing. There's a little slider bar right there. The hooks just go around the little section that's open where the upper thing slides on. So you just fold it in and snap it into the sides. It's kind of hard to show you, but it's sort of like this kind of movement here, like this, and then it snaps into the sides. Alright, so here's Omnigonix Spinout in robot mode. Looks really good. I'm not gonna lie, looks really, really good. And that's about it. Because honestly, it's not that great. You know, it'd be nice if you can just do this. Well, there you go. Now it stands. But the whole time, yeah, okay, that's fine. You can go ahead and do that throughout my review and just mock me. But it really is difficult to stand. But it's not very evident with me just play. He's going to stand, whatever. I was going to tell you guys he doesn't stand whatsoever, but apparently he decides he's going to stand now, even though I just plop him down. So I think that's a trick, is just plop him down and he stands. But if you really try to pose him, there you go. If you try to pose him nice, I guess any awkward stance will stay up, or not. You know, I wish it was all fun and games with this. But I gotta say, it is as annoying as most reviewers have said so far. I mean, I think this thing was probably awesome, like on CAD design, like where there's no plastic and no real life materials and whatever, and it probably worked out really great. But the execution, you know, everybody was talking about the plastics. Yeah, the plastics, you know, aren't the best around, but I don't think the plastics are bad either. I think what makes the plastics look cheap is just really like the little swirling that goes on, and then the little parts where they snap it off the sprue tree. But a lot of toys do that. You know, it's, I don't know. It could have been better plastic. You know, for sure, Sunsurge over here does have better plastic. I mean, that's a given. All right, just want to show you guys also the back, the difference. Definitely winning on this side, the Omnigonix, for the way that they, I mean, it just looks like it should be back here like this, right? The Bad Q, I don't know what happened there. Definitely a nicer design in the Omnigonix, but that's about it. Let me get these two guys together. Neither one is perfect. Although if you're going to go for quality, you know, obviously Sunsurge is going to win out. You know, Bad Cube, I know they were Cubex before, whatever that company was that they were before. You know, and they did their homework. They're starting to release really good stuff. This is their first release. Not the same as far as execution, but you know, to me, it's still the better looking figure. If you can just get this guy to have a cool pose, it'd be great. Now, he does have everything necessary to get the great poses. He's got the ankle, you know, he's got the ankle pivot here. And as I, oh, there you go. All right, that's what I wanted to show you. The pins just fall out. These pins are not even like serrated whatsoever. But he does have ankle tilt. I wanted to show you guys that ankle tilt right there on this panel. Wow, this is pretty bad. And this just fell off again. Omnigonix, please. What is with putting screws on things that are supposed to like spin? So this is supposed to spin, and I spun it and I unscrewed it off the damn thing. You know, but where was I before? I was saying I think the idea is there, the design is there. Just the execution seems very amateurish. It almost seems like literally, not only the factory is it their first time making a toy, but obviously the company itself. They obviously have, you know, good designers. I think the idea, you know, setting everything aside, all the bad parts of this figure, the idea is there, the look is there. It's just the execution is just, it's pretty poor. These things also come off. They were coming off during transformation. Actually, not in half like this, like the whole thing. That's a weird design there instead of just making it one piece. Don't know what's going on with that. And also notice his crotch flap here, which is awesome. You can just open up his crotch. It's like, but I don't remember that being part of the transformation, to be honest, unless I just forced right through it and didn't even notice. But I really have no clue why this crotch does that. It snaps right in. Very nice. A lot of loose things. like this. But again, you know, the design of it, I don't know if you guys saw in the transformation, the way this flips out. I think if this had been made by a company that is already known for making great stuff, this would be a superior figure in my honest opinion. Not only are the looks there, I know the chest is bigger and all that, but you know, it has all the requirements for something to be nice. It's just very poorly executed, you know, and I'm surprised not every retailer is you know, clearancing these. I mean, it's a tough swallow. Anyway, it's tough to swallow. Use a different word. It's tough to just you know, think that even at the reduced prices from some retailers, it's still not worth that. But you know what? This does fall into a category which I already have 2 figures in, which is the kind of category where you set aside the crappiness of this just so you can have a nice looking figure. I'm not saying go and spend all the money on a figure that's really just going to look good. If you know, you get these to transform them, really. I mean, that's why they're called Transformers. And I know these are unofficial, but really that's what they are. And you need to be able to transform them and have fun. The Bat Cube, while a little overly complicated for this old guy, is very well done. This guy is much simpler. Someone had pointed out that these 2 halves here on the arm, mine actually don't split. They were showing that in the other review, these would split open because they're not held in with pins, only at the top. But thankfully mine's not like that. I definitely do have the little mishap here of the chest not tabbing in. The tabs fit in very well. They actually go in there and they seem to friction fit fine, but any kind of movement, they'll just pop out. And the whole neck thing, I would just get a headache from watching people mess around with this, always seeing this head go beep, 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 beep. You know, it's a weird design. And my head doesn't even rotate. If I try to rotate, it pops right out of the neck here. Well, now it's not doing it. Maybe it just wore it in, but it was just popping off. It does have an alternate ear, not a face. I thought it was like an alternate head, but it's actually just the ears and the eyes molded in. I don't really think I need to show you guys that installed, because I really don't want to mess with this more than I have to, honestly. It's just really going to go on my display case. And I lied. I decided I wanted to show you guys the alternate head, but then now I regret it because I lost a screw for this. And you notice the head doesn't exactly close. Damn it. And this thing doesn't really particularly want to slide, oops, into the back of the head. Even if it does, it just doesn't go around. I think it's just sad, you know. I want to show you guys the accessories it comes with. It just looks so sad. Look at this guy. I don't know if I want to go on the display case. I just want to, I don't know. You know, he's got that look to him, like, he's all like, I guess I can, I don't know. It's like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. He's just so sad. Like, I can't get a nice pose. Again, he's got all the articulation to get the pose that you want. I think he can even kneel, right? Look at this. He can even kneel. That's probably the only thing he's done great so far is kneel. Like, he has a real kneel. I've seen a lot of robots that kneel, and they kind of lean over too much to one side. This guy has a real, honest-to-goodness, good-looking kneel. Look at this. Not too many robots can stay straight up while they're kneeling. This is one of the few that can really say that. But it's on a poorly executed figure. The only execution on this that's nice is really the design. So, you know, if somehow Omnigonix is watching this, you know, I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't want to badmouth you guys. You know, if it was my first time making a toy, I'd probably feel really bad if, like, the whole execution, you know, this is like your baby. But definitely, there's got to be something you need to do, you know, to keep people interested in any of your future products, because, you know, design only goes so far. Execution is the rest, right? So, yeah, I honestly don't even know what to say anymore. So yeah, here's Sunsurge again. We'll just keep them back here because really that's the one everybody's going towards now and completely sold out everywhere because I think as soon as this guy came out, everybody's like, oh, you know, we got to get Sunsurge. You still can get Blaze, I think it's called, the red one, but Sunsurge right now is sold out pretty much everywhere unless you want to pay extra. And I know they're going to re-release them maybe. It's a rumor. Sorry about that. My daughter decided to just join in the review there for a second. But I don't even know where I was, guys. But oh yeah, so this guy is supposedly going to be re-released. That guy right there, not this one. But if this guy does get released, it would suck, number one, everybody who has spent money on it to get a version 2 that's better. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Omnigonix will probably have to change their name if they want to release something else. I mean, unless they straight out just say, we're making a version 2, and whoever bought these, send them back in, we'll send you a new one. That would be awesome. That would probably, you know, give me a reason to give him a real big thumbs up. But this figure, you see it's falling apart. I can't recommend it. The only way I can recommend it, guys, is if, you know, you're like me, and you don't need to play with your figures all the time, and you're used to fixing stuff. I don't mind fixing, modifying. I do a little bit of modeling. I did a lot of, not like runway modeling, you know, modeling like little figures and toys and whatever. You know, it's not a big deal. You can always find ways to fix it, but this is what you get out of the box. So if you're not into, you know, modifying figures and doing the whole nail polish thing in the future, this and that, you may want to stay away very far. So here's the head. I'm getting distracted here. Or the helmet, really, with the eyes and the comic style ears. These elf ears don't bother me so much. I'm going to leave those on. And this is a Masterpiece style gun. It looks a little big, I guess. It looks like it should be smaller, but it looks big. And then pop that in there. Will this fit in nice? There we go. Actually, it doesn't go in too difficulty. I'm just trying to get in there without scratching up all the paint. But whatever. It's holding it just like that, and it's got this other little blaster tip thing. Which to do that, you got to bring this down, flip this around, and then just close that. And this just goes right in there. Actually, it's a really tight fit. You can see the paint coming off already off the tab. There you are. All right, so if you wanted to have it that way. Really, you know, why would I show you articulation if this guy's not going to hold the pose? But I will anyway. You get the head on a ball joint. If you're lucky, your head will spin. If not, it'll just flop around, and the tab here will come off. You have the, I guess, a wing type... I can't even talk. This thing has me so discombobulated. You got a ball joint shoulder, right? Do you have biceps? Well, yes, you do. You have a double jointed arm, which is nice, but mostly it's because it transforms with it like that. And waist, yes, waist. All right, and you got these little skirt flaps on the side. You have these little things here. I believe this review is running very long, and I'm sorry, guys, but sometimes you just get stuck on certain things. But anyway, so we got the articulation here like this. We have leg back and forth. We have the knee, which is double jointed, goes back pretty far. Again, the ankle, I'm going to show you this one because the other one just falls apart like that. And then the foot. So yeah, I don't know what else I could say. I mean, I don't even know if it's worth scaling with other robots, but you know, since we're doing a review, I guess I will show you a couple. You saw Sunsurge, and we'll do Optimus Prime. We can get this guy to stand. We'll do MP10. All right, so that's what it looks like with MP10. I believe this guy, even though I just showed you guys already, yeah, he's taller than Sunsurge. By a good bit, actually. I know you can make Sunsurge taller by moving his legs, but you know, Sunsurge is definitely a little bit smaller. So yeah, so that's with MP10. I would show you with Chronos, since this is going to fall into that category, like I said, of the toys that I don't really mess with. They're just meant to look nice. This is going to be one of those. If I can get a good pose out of it, probably have to future the crap out of it. But I will show you this guy since he's handy. There's another guy, another robot or transformer. He's got a pube on his shoulder there. That looks great. I mean, you see this guy. If I show you this guy, if you've never heard of him before, you'd probably be like, wow, that's a damn good looking wheelie. But it's another one of those that are a little weird. You can't straighten out the leg, and I know there's a mod to straighten out the leg. You got to shave this here. You can see the paint scratching off. The legs, wow. I really can't say enough about the legs. And the plastic feel. The plastic does look nice, the sheen on it and everything, but again, I'm getting, you know, losing the subject here, which is this guy. Just showing you guys that this is probably going to be the same thing as another Ollie here and another Chronos, which again, all those figures I'm mentioning, great design backgrounds, I guess, but just the execution from the factories, you know, not that great. You know, it was good on paper and computer screen design, but once executed into plastic, it just failed pretty bad. And this is what he looks like with another Autobot Lambo car. You can see it's a good deal bigger, taller. I might, actually, I'm not going to return it. I'll probably get a shittier one if I return mine. But I can honestly go on all night about this. I should probably have some kind of live show set up where I could just blab and blab. But it's sad. Omnigonix got a lot of homework to do. Change your factory. Designers are good, just factories suck. Let's have a look-see over here. There's a screw that's backed out. I don't know why. This should have been screwed in from the factory. You'll notice. I'm sorry I'm eating. I've really pretty much given up on this review. But yeah, there's a screw backed out, which I don't really care about. There's a pin. Pin should hold the plastic pieces together, but it doesn't. What kind of nonsense is this, honestly? Big ass nonsense. You know what? As a matter of fact, if that guy out there, he's like, oh, you're sponsored and you gotta say good things about the figure. F you. Has nothing to do with that. This figure sucks. What the hell is this right here? It looks like they were punching the pin in and it tried to come out through the actual plastic. There's the shape of a pin. Look at that. They tried to push the pin through the plastic, and then somebody's like, oh, I went the wrong way. Let's go back to the hole, and then just left it like that. Like, you know, screw the guy who's buying this. And then look at the pin here. It's all stress marks. It's all over the place, man. It looks, you know what? The plastic actually on the hips does look to be like a different plastic. It almost looks like a composite plastic, but I doubt it. Being very quiet because I'm just really trying to understand this, because I really want to like it, and I can't. I think I would poop on this if I could, but that video would get knocked down pretty quick. Add some brown paint apps.
I, Optimus Prime, will poop on your face.
It's a sad day in Transformer Land when this is actually a better toy. As much as not really enjoying the Combiner Wars, because they're just hollow pieces of crap, in my opinion, with a couple of cool exceptions. But yeah, this is a superior toy. May not look as cool, may not transform as cool, but this thing you can slap up against the wall, step on it, it's pretty much going to stay together. This, I'm just showing you guys, you know, him standing, not even transforming him while I show you, and his legs are falling all over the place. You know, you got his piss flaps over here, which actually these are probably the strongest parts of the toy. These I have no issues with. They're nice and secure. They're very firm. So hooray for the piss flaps. And looks like Sun Surge wins this battle. Yeah, I think this is going to go into the category where I have to bust out the rye bread over here. And this is the first time I'm going to have to do this because I never thought of it before. But I'm going to make myself a shit sandwich. All right. So what you need is a couple of pieces of bread, and then shit. Just lay it on there, and then just put that there. I might want to pee on it a little bit just for the extra effect. All right. Now this guy is very nice on its own. So if you just want to have a nice looking robot that's very expensive, that looks good, not necessarily built good. Look at all these damn crumbs from this stupid skit here. Then I can't even use the word recommend. If you're willing to spend the money just to have like a shelf queen, I guess it's called, go for it. That's a tough call though, because yeah, I'm not going to recommend it, I'll be honest. At this point, should I even complain about paint chips? I don't think so. Why would you mold something that's going to be painted yellow out of black plastic? Really? Come on. You have yellow plastic here. Why would you mold this out of black plastic and then paint it yellow so when it chips, it's horribly obvious? It's not crazy chipping, but I mean, this is right out of the box. It's kind of stupid. Some poses may require additional support. No kidding. Yeah, I'm just going to end here, guys. It's a little bit of a bummer. Really looking forward to this, but definitely not worth anywhere near $95. If you give me 10 of these for $95, I might be happy, but I've only got one for $95. So if you have any questions or comments, guys, please let me know what your experiences is with this guy, and then try and warn other people not to get this unless they really have to have this on display because it looks cool. But yeah, guys, so that's pretty much it. Again, if you have questions or comments, leave them below. Until next time, bye bye.